Ocala's information station, 1370 WOCA.
Ocala.
All right, 21 minutes before 9 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in. It's time for us to do News Bites. This is the segment of the morning show that we created so we can deliver as much news as possible in a tiny 20-minute segment. Usually we get between 20 and 25 stories. Today, Galen Yunold is here, and we might have commentary in addition to the news. So it's all in fun. It's Friday, so why not?
I'm going to bring down your average.
What we will do is we will try, when we have, well, actually, we won't try. We will deliver to you not only the news, but also the news resource so you can look up the story yourself and read it in its entirety if it's something you're interested in. And I'll start with one I don't even have. I may have it written down somewhere in this stuff, but I just wanted to make sure we don't forget to mention, although you probably already all know, that Nelson Mandela passed away yesterday, I think at the age of 95. Mm-hmm. Anybody know where he lived when he died? Was he?
Yeah, he was still in South Africa.
In South Africa.
What a great man.
Oh, you've got it? Okay, Robin has
What a great man. Did you see that?
No, I don't need it.
His biography, a movie on his biography is coming out later this month. And just one of the few people that the more you read about, the more you respect. The more you hear people talk about him, the more admiration you have for him. Great man. What he did for that country and what he did for the world will never be forgotten. And
just remind us how we're still not there yet.
No, and you know what though, and what I loved about him is he understood the importance of sports and how sports was colorblind. You could be a fan of a team without even the worrying about the color of your skin.
Music is the same way.
And music is exactly the same way. I think that's beautiful.
People, I don't know. It's kind of weird that. I don't even know where. I guess politics is where it's probably the biggest divide.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, there's without a doubt, and you'd be. Yeah, I don't know if I want to say it, but it's true. You'd have to say that the two biggest dividers are politics and religion of all people.
I was going to say that too.
Yeah.
I was going to say religion too. So
yeah, exactly. The next story is out of Tallahassee. The medical marijuana amendment took a verbal beating at the Florida Supreme Court. Legal arguments for and against the proposed constitutional amendment took about an hour for the court to hear and to ask questions of both sides. The justices have to decide if the amendment meets all the technical requirements to appear on the ballot next year, and Chief Justice Ricky Polston says the amendment appears to cover far more than just debilitating diseases. And this is a quote: if a student is just stressed over exams and they go in and see a doctor and say, I'm really stressed out, and then the doctor says, I've got something that can help you out, and prescribes marijuana, wouldn't that be included in this? If the court decides the ballot summary is misleading, the justices can strike down the medical marijuana amendment before it reaches the ballot. No word on when the court will issue its decision, but the deadline for collecting signatures on the petition is February the 1st.
Hey, Larry, did you see that the CNN wrote a story about how perpetual marijuana use grows man boobs?
Really?
I didn't see the story, but I heard that years ago.
They can't prove it, but it's plausible.
Wow.
Yeah, I've heard
that should be on a just say no drugs. Do you want man boobs?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, because it lowers your testosterone.
Then women will be smoking all of.
Right, but it doesn't, because it just lowers testosterone. It has nothing to do with breast development.
Oh, okay.
I just thought that was funny.
That is funny. The next story is...
You don't have to wear a bro.
No, I don't.
No, bro.
Stop it.
This is from the Associated Press. As Texas residents prepared for what one hardware store manager called Ice Friday, schools started canceling this morning, canceling classes that should be, and thousands of shoppers jammed store aisles to buy milk, pet food, and other supplies. Earlier this week, many in Texas were basking in spring-like temperatures, hitting the 80s, but by Thursday, Texas was facing the same wintry blast that is hitting much of the United States, bringing frigid temperatures, ice, and snow. I wonder if we're going to get it here.
Yeah.
Nothing in our forecast yet.
The only winner for all this is Vanilla Ice. Because every time they say Ice Friday, then somebody always goes ice,
yeah,
baby.
yeah.
That's right.
And who did he steal it from? He stole it from David Bowie. So let's be honest, David Bowie really wins.
No, stole it from Queen.
I thought it was David Bowie. I don't know.
Uh-oh, here's
Larry,
the
you're usually
controversy.
right on music.
No, it's Queen.
All right, then it's Queen.
Bum 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 bada bum bum. Yeah,
Yeah,
I can't
that's
remember.
Queen.
What the
Oh,
song-
there you go. Yeah.
All right, sorry. I just took out 3 stories
I think.
with that bad joke.
thought it was a white
People shopping for insurance on the federal marketplace may be informed
That's
they're
vanilla.
eligible for Medicaid and that their information is being sent to state officials to sign them up. However, states say they are not able to enroll them because they're receiving incomplete data from the Obama administration. The Center for Medicare and Medicaid Services wrote a memo to the 36 states using the federal website acknowledging that the information was not being transferred automatically, and they're saying another system was being developed to send it. More complete files could be sent as soon as next week. The technical problem could affect tens of thousands of Medicaid applicants and represents the latest issue to arise in the rollout of a website that's been plagued with long waits for users and other glitches, reported by the Las Vegas Sun. You have a comment?
No, I'm just waiting.
I
I'm
mean,
before.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. The next story is from Reuters news agency. President Barack Obama lived briefly with his Kenyan-born uncle while attending law school, according to a statement issued by the White House yesterday, reversing earlier statements that there was no record of the two men ever having met. White House spokesman Jay Carney said he clarified the issue with the president directly after reports that Onyango Obama, who faced deportation from the United States, said he had housed his nephew temporarily. A U.S. immigration judge ruled on Tuesday that the 69-year-old half-brother of the president's late father could stay as a lawful U.S. resident despite decades of dodging deportation and a 2011 drunken driving arrest. That again from Reuters.
I got nothing on that one.
Nothing on that one.
Officials in a small Appalachian town that has seen its coal industry dry up over the past 2 years are hoping that bitcoins, the internet currency, can play a driving force for jobs. Both the mayor and police chief from Vico, Kentucky, a town of about 330 residents located about 130 miles southeast of Lexington, said that they will donate their entire paycheck to a Bitcoin account formed in the town's name. This is a quote from Police Chief Tony Vaughn. "If we're willing to take a chance to put ourselves out there, some company should take a chance on us. At this point, we'll try anything," reported by Fox News. About Bitcoin.
I love the Bitcoin idea. I think it's going to be great.
I don't see anything,
Yeah, but does it
anything
buy
wrong with
groceries?
You could. if
Yeah,
grocery
as long
store-
as people accept it as currency. I mean, our currency is only as good as the faith that people have in it.
That's it, yeah.
It's not based on anything.
I mean, we use script, right?
Yeah.
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 We use trade. We use we use gold. Anything that somebody puts value in has value.
The blaster pistol belonging to Harrison Ford's Star Wars character Han Solo in The Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi is up for sale. The movie prop, based on a Mauser C96 pistol, will be up for auction online at Invaluable, which is a website, on December 21st. It is expected to fetch from $200,000 to $300,000.
I'm not shocked by that at all. You know how many Star Wars people there are out
Crazy.
there?
That's crazy.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
That's a lot of money.
JPMorgan Chase is warning 465,000 holders of prepaid cash cards issued by the U.S. bank that their personal data may have been hacked. The bank's network was attacked in July, and it was detected in September that servers had been breached. JPMorgan Chase said it found no evidence that money was taken from accounts. However, a small amount of data was taken, but nothing critical, such as social security numbers, birth dates, and email addresses. The prepaid cards were issued for corporations to pay employees and for government agencies to issue tax refunds, unemployment compensation, and other benefits, reported by the BBC.
So let's be honest. Nobody's information is protected.
Did you go to Wendy's when you were in Georgia?
I might have.
Okay, here's a story from the Associated Press. A Wendy's employee who dropped a partially smoked blunt of marijuana into a customer's cheeseburger has been fired and charged with marijuana possession.
I would hope.
Police in the city of Lovejoy, Georgia,
I know where Lovejoy is.
about 25 miles south of downtown Atlanta, said
Yeah.
a customer drove home with her food on November 1st, took a bite out of the burger, and noticed a strange smell wafting from it. The woman pulled the bun off and saw a partially smoked
Oh, that's brutal.
blunt inside. A blunt is marijuana rolled into a hollowed out cigar. The woman called the restaurant's manager and met there with police soon afterwards.
That's brutal. That's just a bad
Nasty.
meal. Could you ever go back to Wendy's?
I don't know. I went back to, I won't say the name of the restaurant, but I went back to one restaurant after getting a pot pie.
Yeah.
With a big squiggly hair in it.
Yeah. That ended up in the garbage. It was disgusting.
Yeah, I couldn't eat it.
No, I don't blame you.
But I went back.
You just get grossed out.
I went back. I figured that was a mistake.
All right. You got to get high on life, I guess. And
No,
at
you got
least-
it high on a goat herd.
Well, you know what's amazing? It's amazing.
High on
that-
a hill with a goat herd.
Well, was it the firing optional? I mean, I
No.
would think that would be the least that would happen.
Yeah, right.
I think she probably got like a lifetime supply of Frosties.
That's right.
You know, the manager said, "Here's 50 coupons for Frosties.
Yeah,
Have a
right.
good day."
Yeah,
There
right.
you go.
So when you get the munchies later,
Yeah.
you'll be fine.
Agroforestry, diversification of crops with legumes and other practical measures must be scaled up to end hunger while meeting the challenge of climate change. This is according to United Nations Secretary General Ban Ki-moon. This is a quote, agriculture is a major contributor to global greenhouse gas emissions.
gosh.
At the same time, farmers worldwide are increasingly feeling the effects of a warming climate. This is reported by UNN News.
So we're not even supposed to eat now?
No, not now.
I mean, now
Gotta wait till
legumes.
later.
Did you say legumes?
Legumes, yeah.
So peanuts are bad?
I guess
Soy
so.
is bad? All right. They need to tell us what I can't eat because I can't eat cow. I can't eat chickens unless they're free range. Now I can't eat crops.
That's right.
I
Pills.
thought crops reduced greenhouse gases. Now they produce greenhouse gases.
The next story is...
I don't know what I'm doing here.
From ABC. Next story is from ABC. Despite accusations swirling around him on his own turf, Toronto Mayor Rob Ford waded into U.S. politics, denouncing President Obama's health care law on U.S. sports radio yesterday morning. Ford, who says he would be a Republican if he were in the United States, said the Affordable Care Act is just too expensive, despite the fact that Canada prides itself in a government-run universal health care system. As a person, I like President Obama, he said, but I don't like his policies. He said that on the show called The Sports Junkies, hosted on a station 106.7 The Fan. Where is that?
Toronto.
Oh, that's in Toronto?
okay.
Toronto.
I don't believe in all this public-funded health care because you've got to pay for it, he said.
Well, somebody's got to pay for
Ford
it.
is
It's not
set to
magic.
offer sports
No.
commentary during the radio show on a weekly basis, so he's going to get into sports commentary.
Good for him.
The bond between the United States and Israel is unbreakable, and while there may be tactical differences between the two countries occasionally, the long-term strategy for Israel's security and peace in the region is the same. This is according to U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry, where he had said this in Jerusalem yesterday. Kerry's comments following a meeting with Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu came after a month of high-profile public disagreement between Washington and Jerusalem, both over the policy toward Iran and the talks with the Palestinians. The two men, who both referred to the other as my friend, took pains to present a common and amiable front, reported by the Jerusalem Post.
Don't ever go against Jerusalem. You're going to end up losing.
There you go. That's right.
Hey, I've read the book. I know how it ends. I'm just going to say, I go out on a limb. Don't be on the wrong side of Jerusalem.
I've often thought that, too. From the Associated Press, a Michigan woman accused of lying for years about having cancer was convicted yesterday in a separate case of lying about being raped. The jury took less than 30 minutes to convict Sarah Yean after a 3-day trial in St. Clair County, 60 miles northeast of Detroit. Yean was charged with making up a story of two men attacking her in her Lexington home in 2012. Yean, who is 38 years old, was also convicted of tampering with evidence after police say she used makeup to create what looked like bruises. She did not testify in her own defense. Yean's story resembled a cheap novel. Prosecutor Suzette Samuels told jurors she's lying through her teeth. This was unreal. In final remarks, defense attorney David Hayboyer said police did not follow up on other leads and didn't go to Yean's house for a close examination of what took place.
You know what's sad about this story is this makes it harder for any time there is a real case of rape.
Yep, that's right.
You know what I mean? And not only does it, hopefully, it doesn't look like any men were charged for it, but it just
Yeah, she made up the men.
it just makes it harder for women to come forward because you have stories that now somebody's going to say, they're just making it up for publicity. It's a shame, and I'm glad they prosecuted her. Good for whoever did that.
Yeah, I concur.
It takes a lot of guts.
Representative Ileana Ross-Lehtinen, a Republican from Florida, was speaking at a forum on women leadership, and she said immigration is a woman's issue because the male has either been deported or the father is not present. Oh, man. This is a quote from her. I think that folks who have dealt with refugees and immigrant families see how much it impacts women because so often, many times, the male is not there. Either he's been deported or the dad is not present. And immigration is really a woman issue. It's a family-centered issue. She had said this at a conference reported by CNS News. My 2 cents, she's wrong. A lot of women get pregnant and come over here because that's what they want to do.
Well, and also there's a lot of times where the man comes over first to establish a base, and I just don't. Immigration is an everybody person. We don't have to isolate it to one sex or the other.
No.
Yeah, that's the bottom line. I think everybody agrees we need to do something about it. I just wish we could come to some agreement on what that is.
Mm-hmm.
The next story is from Reuters. You may associate knitting with grandmas and the Women's Institute, but it appears wool and 2 knitting needles can also be transformed into tools for gender protest. 34-year-old Casey Jenkins is at the center of an unusual piece of performance art called Casting Off My Womb, in which she is spending 28 days knitting from a ball of wool which she inserted inside her vagina.
Why?
She is currently halfway through the project. In a video about the enterprise, Casey says, if you took a good hard look at a vulva, you realize it's just a bit of a body. There's nothing that is shocking or scary, Nothing that is going to run out and eat you up.
I agree with all that. What's the point, though? What is she protesting?
Casey is performing her piece in a gallery in Australia where she sits daily wearing only a woolen jumper as she knits with her increasingly long masterpiece hung across coat hangers in front of her.
What's the point?
Despite inserting a new spiel of wool arranged so that it unwinds from the center inside of herself every day, Casey insists the experiment has not been painful.
So you can watch her privates down there.
But what is she protesting?
Gender, something. Let me find it.
I mean, it makes no sense.
I don't get it.
Yeah, look, a good protest should make some sense. I shouldn't have to look.
Gender. It's gender protest.
What? I'm sorry, there's a man and a woman. Is that what we should all just be like reptiles so we can change?
If you think this is shocking, wait till next week's story when there's a man doing the same thing.
That's right. He's winding it around. She's inserting.
Oh, okay. I don't know what to do with that one, Robin. Thank you.
I don't either.
The likelihood of
Robin
life.
doesn't usually commentate on these stories, so I think this is a good thing.
You've added an element to this. Yeah. I know. You did it before, too.
I still don't know what she's protesting.
I don't know.
But by golly, she's protesting.
She's in the news.
and just think, I'm sorry, I'm still stuck on that. So people are watching her do it. What do you think the demographic of those people who are watching them? I'm pretty sure it's probably like 99% men.
Probably.
And then the woman who got dragged in there going, I thought we were seeing art. Right? And then just some dirty old men.
Yeah, right. That's right.
Like kind of like the Peep Show in this book.
That's right.
A 30-something snap.
Yeah, probably.
The likelihood of life on other planets is very high, a planetary scientist told a House committee in a hearing some Democrats chided as evading U.S. issues. This is a quote. The chance that there's a planet like Earth out there with life on it is very high. This is according to Professor Sarah Seeger from the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, Planetary Science, and Physics. Her quote continues, the question is there life near here in our neighborhood of stars? We think the chances are very good. Representative Ralph Hall, a Republican of Texas, asked her this question. Do you think there's life out there, and are they studying us? And what do they think about New York City? Reported by UPI.
Wow,
you know what? Here's the thing.
Crazy news today.
What evidence? And this is all I know because I've never seen it. What evidence do we have that aliens exist, or that there's another life form off the planet Earth? What evidence do we have of that?
I don't know. Some rock that they found in Antarctica. Remember that one?
Had like frozen water, supposed water.
Right. Yeah, it was in Antarctica though.
Yeah.
All right, next story is from the
Right.
Associated Press. A rocket carrying a secret payload for the U.S. government was successfully launched from the central California coast. The Atlas V rocket lit up the night sky at 11:15 p.m. yesterday, lifting off from Vandenberg Air Force Base toward low Earth orbit. The 19-story tall rocket carried a payload for the National Reconnaissance Office, which operates the nation's system of intelligence gathering satellites. The agency has not released any details about the payload. A California cold snap had threatened a possible delay, but the rocket took off within minutes of the opening of its launch window.
Good I like rockets. Cool.
This is a story out of Gainesville. Some upbeat news about consumer confidence got lost in the pre-holiday shuffle, but bodes well as we head into the meat of the holiday season. Consumer confidence took a quick upswing in the Sunshine State. Consumer sentiment among Floridians recovered from October's drop, rising to 76 in November from the revised reading of 70. This is according to a new University of Florida survey. Economist Chris McCarty, who compiles the figures for the index, said they had expected at least some of the recovery as anxiety about the government shutdown ebbed. He added that it was still not the most rosy of outlooks. However, at 76, we are several points away from our post-recession high of 81. Now is a good time to buy big ticket items such as a car, increased 16 points to 94, the highest since April of 2007. Consumer confidence in U.S. economic conditions over the coming year rose 9 points to 75, while expectations for the nation's economic well-being over the next 5 years rose 2 points to 73.
And the last
voter confidence is, or the confidence in the economy is all about whether or not you think you're going to make more money next week.
Yeah, it's a weird survey, that whole voter confidence. All right, we got one more story. E-commerce. E-commerce has been so far the success story of the tumultuous holiday season, but as the season progresses, some experts say the advantage may shift to brick and mortar stores more heavily than in past years, following a solid Cyber Monday, which logged the heaviest online spending numbers in history, increasing by 18% to $1.74 billion, according to ComScore. Some analysts said that frenzied shoppers will likely turn to physical stores for last-minute purchases, and that story is from MSNBC.
Walgreens is always a good place to go, Larry.
I love Walgreens.
Yeah.
I've gone to Walgreens
I know.
on Christmas Eve, like 10 o'clock or maybe 8 o'clock. And I've actually been there watching them take down the Christmas and putting up the Valentine's Day stuff.
Wait. I need that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, is that 55% off now? I'll take it.
All right. This is the segment we normally fill in with 20 or so stories. How many did we get today, Robin?
21.
Really?
Not bad.
Hey, I did pretty good.
Not bad.
You can't blame me for your low average.
No, we did good today. All right, we'll take a little break. And coming up next, Jim George is going to tell you how you can make that purchase that you just got to entertain yourself and your family maybe a little bit better. We'll be right back with Jim.
Ocala's information station, 1370 WOCA.
Ocala.
ABC News Now. I'm Karen Chase. The latest